Okay, good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's class, OBS Masterclass. My name is Stanley Dunia. I'm the current community lead of Church Multimedia Creative Community, and it's my pleasure to take you on this class today. So, first, we'll be going to download the OBS software. So, just come online and type OBS software. You get the OBS website here. So that's obsproject.com. We'll visit the website and download for Windows if you're using Windows. For Mac, you're using Mac. And for Linux, if you're using Linux operating system. So while okay, thank you for downloading. So as you can see, OBS is downloading. While that is going on, we need some extra plugins. So first we need to download the OBS NDI. So the OBS NDI plugin will allow us to be able to connect systems or bring in inputs through network to OBS and out of OBS. So we need NDI. So first we install NDI. If you don't have NDI, so just if you don't have NDI install, so you go to NDI, just come to your browser and type NDI tools. So it takes you to NDI website and you go for if you're using Windows or you're using Mac. So this is where you do that. So NDI tools for Windows. Because NDI is quite large. I already have it installed, so I'm not going to make the download. But if you needed to, this is where you download it from. So you can download it here. Okay, no, that's for analysis. Just scroll down. Okay, yeah, so this is it. You can install NDI tools there. Once you click on it, takes you to NDI tools and you just download. For Windows, you download for Windows here. But like I said, I have NDI installed already, so I don't want to run through the whole progress again. So, but it's just for you to download the NDI tools and install. So after that, so now we're practically downloaded OBS and we have NDI. But for you to still use NDI in OBS, you need to download a plugin for that. So the plugin used for NDI in OBS is now called distro AV. So I'm just going to type distro AV NDI. So you can see distro NDI plugin, distro NDI OBS. So distro NDI OBS. So this is the plugin that we need. Distro network audio video in OBS Studio. So come here and just click go to download. Wow, it's taking long. Okay, so we are here now. Just scroll down. Okay, still loading. So this is it. For Windows, download for Windows. For Mac, download for Mac. So I just need this. So click on it to download. Yep. Okay, so now we have downloaded NDI plugin for OBS. So what we'll need next will be a multi-stream plugin to allow us stream to more than one streaming platform. So I'm trying to get all the plugin downloaded first, so that once we start, we know that we're not breaking. So I'm just going to type multi RTMP OBS plugin. Okay, so this is it here, multi RTMP output plugin. Okay, so go to download. Just scroll down normally and download the file. Okay, so just to make sure we are together in the class, you can just drop in the chat box any of the two plugins that we have downloaded to show that you're following the class. Just drop any one of the two plugins that we have just downloaded. Okay, so next we're also going to download another plugin. It is called Atom vertical plug. So what this plugin allows us to do, it allows us to auto multi-streams to multi-platforms, but also gives out a vertical layout in case you want to stream to Instagram. So instead of having to now reposition your landscape layout to live stream to Instagram, Atom already gives us that layout. We just had all our source and scenes and we stream to it. So just going to also download that plugin, as you can see here. Okay, I think I should go through the website. So we'll go to the atom.tv website. Okay, I can see some comments in the chat box. That means I'm not alone. Okay, so I'm done with this. So I don't know why this is downloading very slow, but I think I have OBS already downloaded. Yeah, so I'm just going to install OBS now. Please, if you ask question, please feel free to stop me anytime. Okay.
Mr. San, sorry, just a quick question. This downloader that you have, that I'm seeing the prompt now, what app produced it?
Internet Download Manager.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Uh, because I'm downloading OBS, I can't install OBS. Okay, I think this is okay. I need to close Google Chrome. Okay. Yes, since I'm downloading practically the same thing, let me just stop it. Okay, so the Atom TV website is not loading, so I'm going to get it through OBS. Ah, it's taking me back to the website. So let's just go and so that's one small issues we have sometimes. The website can just be down. But okay, so I'm going to drop this in the chat box. Can try to check it from your end. If it loads and you can download it, then I think we can just also take it from there. But I think I have the plugin already downloaded. Okay, I think I have it here. But still, you can still try to check in case you get it downloaded. The page is open from your end. Okay, so we are done with our browser. Why is this taking long? Okay, so we are good and we are launching ASAP. So first things first for OBS. OBS is an open broadcast software which enables us to primarily live stream and record. So it means basically among of the other things which you can use OBS for. OBS is majorly designed for recording and streaming. So you can stream to any platform of your choice. And when it comes to recording, you can also record in any format of your choice. So now streaming, which would be our major part for today class. Oh, also you can also use virtual camera. So virtual camera is you having your OBS output as a camera input in your system. So I think I'm just gonna explain that. So first things first, when you install your OBS, it comes in this format. And first thing you want to do before you do anything is to put it on studio mode. So why do we want it on studio mode? So we can have the preview scene and the program scene, allowing us to fully have a handful of what we want to do before we send live, we can see it. Okay, so we have seen, as you can see here, we have source, audio mixer, scene transition, control. So first thing will be first to take you through the bars at the top. So we have the file. You can see from here they're all pretty straightforward. So I'm going to stop at some places to show some key functions. So first is um under the edit we have transform. So in transform, it gives you the ability to edit, transform, copy, paste, reset, rotate, flip, and the rest of them. So this is not active because we have not added any scene. But once you have a scene added, it allows you to use any of this transform. So you might be asking why transform. So take for instance, you probably add in your camera or add in a picture and it's not full screen and you want it to be full screen. So you can just come to transform and fit to screen or use Ctrl F. So that's like one part of the numerous advantage you can get for using transform. So we have orders. That's basically placing things in different layouts. Probably you want it higher or lower. And we have preview scaling. So the preview scaling is majorly set from your settings, though, but it gives you your canvas and your outputs. So and you can also lock your preview. Then we have advanced audio. So when we go to audio, I'll talk about the advanced audio. So okay, yes, very important again. Under view, if I put always on top, it means I cannot minimize my OBS. So this is a sample. Oh, okay, sorry. So once you put your OBS on always on top, it means anything you add to your screen is going to go behind it. Nothing can come in front of the OBS because it's on always on top. So, but if I remove it from always on top and I click on the WhatsApp now, you see the WhatsApp can come ahead of it. So always on top keeps the OBS layer at the first part of your main screen. So next is multi-view. So multi-view allows you to seamlessly see all your sources. I'm sorry, all your scenes. So this is a practical view of your multi-view. So imagine we have plenty scenes here. You can see all your scenes here. You have your preview, you have your program. So this is very, very functional and also very, very trickish. So because to use this, you need to probably know how to use your hotkeys. So hotkeys is like shortcuts. So this is why. So you create shortcuts for all your scenes. Create shortcut for how you want to transition from preview to program. So I think I'm going to do probably an example when we go deeper so that you see how that works. So all those people that feel we can't mix from from OBS because they are using vmix, practically can also do the same and even more. So now under tools, tools is very, very, very fundamental also because this is where you activate your NDI settings. So I'm not going to turn this on yet because I'm not showing you how to install. So but when I install it, I'm going to practically show how that works. And that's all for this menu bars. So going into the important section now. First things first is to go through your settings. So settings house everything in your OBS down from the beginning to the end. Okay, so most times we practically like to leave all settings here the same way. So now for those multi-view that we saw earlier, if you want to increase the scene of your multi-view, this is where you do it. So you can take the control here and make the changes. Take for instance, I use horizontal top of 24 cents. When we go back, you'll see how it comes in play. So but you can go through the settings, and if you feel to toggle anything, you can always do it here. So for instance, there is automatically record when streaming. You can decide to toggle this on, and what this means is once you start live streaming, automatically OBS starts recording. So next is appearance. Basically switch um the theme you like for your OBS. So most times I like to use Ranchy. Um, I like to keep my OBS very dynamic in such a way that you probably don't know that it's OBS, but you can use any one of your choice. I have a friend that likes white, but like I said, I prefer the Ranchy. Okay, so next is stream. Um, so under the streaming service, we have custom, YouTube, Facebook, Restream, Twitter, and the rest of them. I'm sorry, let me just mute this person. Wow, I don't have access. Okay, so thank you, Glory. So under services, we have different streaming platform which you can stream to. But most times we prefer to use custom. So why custom? So that we can manually input our server and our stream key. So you can also multi-track video. So multi-track video automatically optimize your settings to encode and send multiple videos quality. Selecting this option will send custom information about your computer and software. So I think OBS have added a new function now, multi-track video. So that means you can probably record simultaneously a video into more than one format. Okay, so I'll take that again. Uh, uh, can you hear me now?
The line is breaking, Mr. Stan.
about that. Okay, so I think I'll just take it from where I stopped last. So multi-track video allows you to record video into multiple formats. So next is output. Okay, so like I said before, so let me just change it to advanced. Okay, so like I said before, your output and your canvas are majorly being controlled by you. Okay, so now going through the output mode, using advanced settings. So you're streaming audio. So we have 6 different audio track. So what audio track means is different audio inputs you can have on a stream. Then you can now select the one which you want any of your streaming to take. So most times we all use audio track 1. It's been encoded with FFmpeg. Um, so our video encoder. So currently I'm not using a dedicated graphic system, and so we are just saying so this X264 is my display graphics. Quinsys H2 64 is quick sync using my own system display graphics and the rest of it. So take for instance, if you have your dedicated graphics, you're gonna see probably the NVIDIA or the GTech Force encoder here, and you can just select it. So rescale output disable, you are not rescaling. So now this is where you set your outputs, but most times we all like to leave it at either the 920 1080, our regular 1K, or you can do 128 720. That's 720. So depending on you. So rate control, normally CBR. Next is bitrate. So now this bitrate is very trickish. So OBS feel like your normal standard bitrate should be 6,000 kbps, which means 6 MB per second. So what this means? So if you look at the title, it said bitrate. So it means the rates, or sorry, the bits in which your streaming should be rated. So let me do a practical example. So let me use fast.com. The Ether router that the showed us that we're going to have 10 bps, but it's all right. So so let's take for instance, we are getting 730 kbps. So what this means is our internet is reading 730 kbps per second. So this is where most of us have our streaming issues. So your current network is reading 730 kbps, but your bitrate is set to 6,000 kbps. So it means by default, you want to stream on 6 MB per second. But currently now your network is 730 kbps per second. So it's going to lag definitely, because the required Mbps that's needed to push out the quality of the video you want to send out, your network is not able to buffer that. So this 6,000 MB per second, your network is going to be buffering it on 730 kbps per second. Um, please, are we together?
Yes, Mr. Stan.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir. We are together.
So that's basically how your bitrate and network works. So your bitrate is basically more, you can call it your network speed. So what you set in there determines how your streaming is going to come out. So most times what we do is run our network speed test, check for the current kbps, and know what to set it as. So sometimes we do 2000, which is 2 MB per second. You can do 3 MB per second. And also, if you're using a dedicated network, which probably you're getting 60 Mbps per second, you can as well run the 6,000 KB and go as high as 10,000 KB. If you're streaming to just one platform, you can also try 15. That's 150,000 KB, depending on your network. So you can just, so 2000 is 2 MB per second, 3000 3 MB per second, depending on your network, like I said. But I think most times you usually do 2.5, that's 2 MB per second, but that's because of our network. So also, this is very dynamic in terms of multi-streams. So calculate it this way. I don't know why this network is reading this amount of, but take for instance, let's say our network reads 10 MB per second, and we want to stream to 3 platforms. Okay, so let me make this very interactive. So we have 10 MB per second, and we want to stream to 3 platforms. What will be your bitrate? Anyone can try. You can also drop your answers in the comment section.
I'm going to shrink it to 3 Mbps so that it can go to those 3 different platforms and cover total of 9 Mbps. Like, I'm not going to leave it on 10 for OBS. I'll drop it 3 so that it can go, because I was going to ask you this question. So, but you just brought it out now.
Okay, so you're gonna stream on um 3 Mbps. Oh god. Sorry, I don't know why Ethel decided to act this way this night. Okay, so who else wants to give us his own view? Goodness said he's going to do 3 MB per second. Are we here? Okay, so because of time, 3 Mbps is okay, but for me, because I know network most times are not stable, and I don't want any of my streaming to lag or jump, I can try 2 Mbps or 2.5, because it's still going to read 1K. So basically, but take for instance, if my 10 MB per second is a steady network. Ah, Intel. Check. Okay. So take for instance, if my 10 MB per second is a static network, that means the network doesn't go lower, it stays at that 10 MB per second. Then, like goodness said, but to be on the safer side, you can do 2000 kbps or 25 kbps. So every other settings remain the same. So next is recording. Which kind of recording do you want to do? So choose where you want to record to. Um, the bitrate doesn't really matter, but also you can set the bitrate of which you want your record to take. Audio bitrate also. So to have a better sound, you need a better audio bitrate, but it also means that you need to have a good network. So I'm going to explain. So most times you see our audio bitrate on 128 kbps, mbps, sorry, kbps. So it means that you can ah okay, are we together? Oh, my network. Oh,
Yes, for together. I use 128.
check. Okay. Sorry. Ethel is really working. But I think if network breaks again, I'll just switch to MTN. Okay, so sound basically just like our video. You set the bitrate. Okay, I'm not doing this again. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
No, we cannot see your screen yet. It's still loading.
Okay, just a moment. Let me just switch network once. Switch to MTN, problem. Switch to Airtel, problem. So before we before we get back into the class, how's our network experience been for the past 1 week? Can you guys hear me?
Well, I use Glow. Glow had a brief downtime on early this week. So, but generally, it's what I stay on. But for streaming, I use MTN 5G. Outside streaming, I stay with Glow. I don't even I don't even rock with Airtel at all. I don't have any experience of Airtel or the other
I
cities.
don't think you people in Lagos know what people in the other part of Nigeria are actually facing. Okay, so MTN is giving me around 2.9 per second. I think this should be enough for the class. Okay, so audio bit rate. So why people like to keep their audio bit rate very low is so that even as bad as the network gets, people live streaming can also get audio. So that's why sometimes you oh shit. That's why sometimes you see probably a live streaming video is freezed, but the audio is still coming in. So remember that your live stream is working with UDP, user datagram protocol. So it means is it transmits as much as it is receiving, and your networks helps you to push this data to the streaming platform. So once your network begins to break, different things can happen. Your streaming can decide to lag, can decide to jump. So all this happens because of your network. So, but if as you can see, they like to keep the audio bitrate very low so that as much as your network drops, the sound can still come in. But if you're having a steady network, there's nothing bad to use 512 or 256 kbps for your audio. So it's just enhance your audio quality. So audio, oh, you can do 320 itself. Yeah, I think 320 most times. So you can switch to anyone of your choice. Reliable file. We don't need this. So next is audio. Like I said, we have 5 audio tracks, but most times we use just one. So as you can see, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it 4? I thought it's 6. Okay, it's 6, but basically if you choosing the track you want. So I think basically the track has to just do with the bit rate which you want to live stream with. So yeah,
Sorry, Mr.
this
Man.
yeah, come.
That track. I don't. I can you still throw more light on it? Like I just leave it on default track one. So if I switch it to track two, or maybe a track six, like what difference does it make to my
So
audio?
basically um it doesn't really have okay, so it just like have different audio bit rates. As you can see here, you just name it, put the bit rate you want. So you can now switch between bit rates if you want to, but nothing changes. Oh, let me see. I'm not seeing audio recording. Most times you actually okay. So audio encode. So basically it's just the bitrate you want the audio to be encoded in. So like you can set different bit rates for each of the track. So probably if you now need, so take for instance, let's say Facebook, you don't need a higher bit rate, you need like 160. You can now select track 3. But most times, as if you can see, if you look the default, everything is on 160. So they're basically just the same thing, probably giving you more versatile bitrate to choose from. But most times we all stay in track one. So for our um audio, normal sample rate is 48 hertz, but if you are using 41 hertz, you can also switch to it. Well, I don't think there's any reason you're using your system to live stream, so it should be 48. So channel stereo. So if you want to use desktop audio, so desktop audio is allowing audio from your desktop to come in. You can choose in and inputs. So I'm currently using my Behringer sound card with my Phantom mic. So Behringer as my inputs is automatically on default. That's why it's showing default here. So if I come here, you can see it's showing Behringer. So that's why it's default here. But probably let's say you have multiple sound card and you want to select one, you can come here and select the audio which you want to use. Every other settings remains the same. So video, set your canvas and your output resolution. Okay, so now next hotkeys. Let me just do. So I'm gonna show us these so that if you are using the multi-view, you know how to navigate it. So now let's say to switch scene, let me use home. So home is going to allow us to switch scene. Then for transition, I think I should be able to see fade. Okay, I'm not seeing it here. But let's say for transition, let me use spacebar. So I've set two hotkeys. One to switch between scene and the other to transition. That's to transition from preview to program. So this is colors. If you like to play with colors, this is where you come and select colors for different things. But like we leave it at default. Then advance doing touch. So basically don't need to change. Okay, so if you want to change the file name format for your recording, you do that here. If you want your streaming to have delay, you do it here. So we have automatically reconnect. So once your network drops and OBS tries to reconnect, try to reconnect after every 2 seconds, and it's going to try for 25 seconds. I'm sorry, 25 times. So what this means is if your network breaks, OBS tries to connect every 2 seconds for 25 times. After 25 times, if the network is not back, it's going to end the stream. So, and that's practically everything about settings. So, do we have any question? Because setting is very, very, very important. Okay, so I think we can proceed. So the last one is virtual camera. So you can decide what you want to send out on your virtual camera. So like I said before, your virtual camera is taking out probably the program, the preview, a scene or a source from your OBS and making it as a camera input. So let me show you a sample. Start virtual camera. So let's say I want to add a video source, probably to Zoom, and that video capture device. As you can see here, I have OBS virtual camera. So practically anything I'm capturing from my OBS is going to come as the OBS capture camera. So take for instance, if you are recording and you want, or probably you are streaming and you want to send your outputs to Zoom, you just turn on your virtual camera, set the part you want to capture. So majorly you want to capture the program and start it. Go to OBS, select the from the cameras OBS virtual camera, and you practically have your inputs as the camera, as easy as that. Okay, so I said I was going to talk about advanced audio properties. Let me just do that now. So advanced audio properties allows us to do multiple things. So one will be to increase volume, to either mono your sound or stereo it. So at this point now, my input is coming as mono because I'm using one channel of the sound card. So I can decide to now bridge it as mono, and the sound is going to come as a complete sound, or use it as a one channel. But you know, a one channel is not a balanced sound. So most times, if you have just one channel coming in, you can just mono it. And if you have two channel, that's stereo, you can use it that way. So we also have what they call audio monitoring. So your audio monitoring is you can turn off the monitor. That's if you don't want to monitor the audio. So you can monitor only and mute output. Please know this part very well. So what this means is, let's say you are streaming now and you select monitor only and mute output. It means you are going to be hearing it probably through your speaker, and if you have an earphone plugin, you can hear it through the earphone, but the sound is not going to go into your live stream. So don't mute outputs. So basically what we'll do most times is use monitor and output. So you can plug in your earpiece or use your system speaker to monitor while the sound also goes to your streaming platform. It's very, very important. And that's that. Okay, so I think it's remaining that same. That's for the material. Okay, so let me just find something to show. Definitely can use that. Okay, so okay. Let's use this. Okay, so let's say we have this. So like from edit. Okay, so let me just show it. So from edits now, you can go to transform, and you can use fit screen, stretch to screen, center to screen, and then on you. Well, let me do this. So fit screen. I want it to be everywhere, so I'm just going to transform and stretch. So it's going to stretch it to the screen. Okay, so I'm trying to juggle now fast because of time. Image again. Oh, okay. Let me see if I can get a video so that I will show the loop function of it. Okay, so you're wondering what I press? I press Control F, which is to center align. Let me try to get the video. So if you have a video, look at what you can set. So you can make it loop for it to just keep replaying by itself. Can restart when the source become active. So this means probably if you have been playing the video on preview, once you send it live, it's going to restart from the beginning. I don't know if I have any short video here. Okay. Hope this works. Also, you can set the speed if you want it very fast or slow. So, and yes, I don't know, but OBS seems not to. Okay, those finally. So before, I don't know, most times it's very hard to try to play a video before you go live. So sometimes you just send it front, that send it live and send it back so that you can play it. But so take for instance, so you notice even though I've watched the video probably to the middle, once I send live, it's going to start from beginning because we set it to restart at sending as when it becomes active. So once it goes live, it's going to start from the beginning. Okay, so back to the multi view. So this is our multi view. Remember we switched it to 24 cents. That's why we have it this way. So remember we did shortcut home to switch between scenes. Okay, so now remember when we were setting this up, we only had one scene. And so no matter anywhere I am, okay, so I can't go anywhere because it's only 3 that is active. Once I press home, it goes back to the first one. And when I hit on space now, so take for instance, I'm going to hit on space now. See, it's going to transitions automatically. So what this means is with your hotkeys, you can allow your keyboard rest if you have everything all arranged in your scene and control them with keyboard. So set your transition and set your scenes, and you can just use buttons to control everything. Just hope you understand this because many people don't really know we have multi-view in OBS. So that's that about multi-view. So scenes and source, I did talk about them, but normal. So scenes are like you creating different pages, while sources are you putting things in a page. So you have a variety of sources, you can select and add to your scene, and you can also have different scenes depending on you. So now I'm going to be closing the OBS. Okay, so I'm saying time, so I'm going to try to rush up very fast. So now why am I closing our OBS? We want to install the plugins which we have downloaded. So we downloaded the distro NDI plugin, we downloaded the multi-string, and we download the Autumn multi-stream. So I'm just gonna install 3 of them. Okay, so it's when the last one, that's the multi-stream. Um, okay, so now we have installed the 3 plugins. So there are other plugins. Probably you're having a question to ask and say, well, am I using just these 3 plugins? But basically, it's our major focus for the class, or should I say for the community. So we have other plugins like the text overlay and the rest of it. So pending on you, you can explore that. I don't think I have any sample here. I could have showed you how to maneuver on lower third, but most times it's okay. So uh, let me use this picture to do a perfect example. So take for instance, let's say this is a video, and this video is meant to bring out lower third. What you can do is design the parts for the lower third and make the other parts can I index? Okay, yes. So I'll make the other parts one color. So take for instance, um let's say color key. Is it color key now? Chroma key. So now on the chroma key is green. So what it means is my green has become transparent automatically. Okay, so let me let me add something behind so that like it's easy to understand. Perfect. So I come here now and I chroma key the green. You see now you can see what's behind. So what basically this means is you can create the video, probably your overlay video that has your guest minister name on it, and place it on your camera feed and just come to filter. And so now the funniest thing is OBS allows you to choose any color. So you can even set it to black, any color you want. You just come here, pick the color, and it's going to automatically remove everything that has that color on the screen, leaving just your overlay. And you can put it on your video and send live. That's the fastest and the easiest way for you to use your lower third on OBS. So now back to our plugins. So because of our time, I'm going to try to be very fast. So now we have our distro NDI here now. If you click on it, you can see main outputs, preview outputs. But if you notice, they are not toggle, so that means they are not active. So what you just do is toggle your main outputs. You can name it probably church OBS, or depending on how you want to name it. And if you also want to send your preview through NDI, you can also toggle it here. But I don't think we need that. And so that's it. So what it means now is our NDI is active, which means somebody can I don't know if we can. Okay, let me try. No. Okay. So what it means is someone can now see our NDI feed. Let me do something real fast. Let me see if I can capture my Zoom screen. Can I? supposed to be Windows. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I believe you can see my screen share. Okay, so NDI is active now. So I think we have a video on this on the community YouTube channel. That's what I want to do now. So where's the webcam? So I'm trying to toggle the webcam on from NDI and send our OBS, send our OBS to it. So Stanley, what as you can see now, my OBS is active. That's my NDI. So just come to my Zoom and select NDI 1. And if you can see, you should be seeing. Oh, I think that has it gone off again? Well, sorry, my system is going to be hanging now because I'm doing more tasks than it should do. But if you check my video now, you can see my Zoom output. So practically sending through NDI and not through OBS virtual camera. So like that's some of the things you can do with your NDI. So it means you can send out and also receive through NDI. So that's that. You can also add NDI input sources. You add your NDI source here. So once you have NDI source coming into your system, you can add them to OBS. So this is where we do the easy worship. I don't think the system can carry. I think I will try that before we end the class. But okay, so because of time, so when you come to dock, you can see the two plugins that we install extra. That's the Atom multi-stream and multiple outputs. So I'm just gonna toggle both now. So one thing you can do is you can arrange your OBS screen the way you want. So I remember one time I posted a video, sorry, a picture of how I arranged this my OBS layout. So this is basically how I did it. Just move things the way you want it. So Auto Multi-Stream is a very funny plugin. So see, it's showing Awesome Vertical is not installed or is out of date. Click here to update. So it means the plugin which you install is not the latest one. We need to download. But why we talk that out? The multiple output also almost does the same thing though. But what this does is allows us to stream to different platforms. So now the difference between the auto multi-stream and this multi-stream is the automotive systems can work independently, whereas this multiple RTMP works with like your normal streaming. So if you start this your normal stream, that's the one on OBS. That's when you can now come and add your multiple streams. So like you can have earlier I've set them down, but like you can't start streaming on your multiple outputs unless you start the local streaming. So basically now you can just, if you are doing Facebook, type Facebook RTMP, put in your URL, put in your stream key. So use your normal encode, share with OBS if you want to, and this is it. So okay, so I think let me just let me just say it very fast because of time. So you see this scene here, it's you can actually change it. It's because a few details here. Okay, so so encoder, I use the streaming encoder as OBS. So I don't want to. So I can just select my own encoder. So selecting my own encoder allows me to now set my own personal bit rate and choose what scene. That's if I don't want to use the output, which scene I want to send live. So this now I'm showing us this is in case you want to do Instagram. So what my system is low. Okay, so just to round up. So what you can do is create a scene. I like to call my Instagram. And add okay, I don't know. I can't hear myself also. I think the system is down, but oh, Zoom is not responding. So I think practically okay, but I think practically we're going to have a part two and continue from where we just stopped. Because I need to still talk about this 8-ton multi-string. But let me see. The OBSF account. So well, basically, most times what would happen is your probably your let's say your OBS is connected to your church screen and it's showing your main. Okay, where's that device? Uh, let me see if I can quickly do this. Perfect. Basic. Oh, you can't see my screen. Okay, so we're just gonna start from here next class. So I'm going to start from explaining how to go live with sorry, how to also stream to Instagram from multi RTMP. Then we talk about the AI tone multi stream. Okay, so I think that's basically what is left. Then also going to throw it to the house to ask more questions in case they have. Okay, so I think I'm gonna take questions now. So if you have any questions, please, this is your time.
Thank you, Mr. Stan. I have a question. I was watching
Thank you.
a ministry stream today, and then I'm not too sure if it was OBS they used, but in any case, the logo was revolving. Can we achieve that on OBS? It was at the top,
Revolving.
it was at the top right corner of the stream, and then it was moving around in circle. Like it was, let's say it's a circular object. It was just
Okay.
revolving.
So what you can do on OBS is scroll. But to achieve that, that's very easy though. Just create the video and add it to OBS and put it there. But Vimix can do that for you. Vimix has a titler that does that.
Okay.
So
Maybe it
it's
was.
very dynamic. You might think it's Vimix and the people might have just created the video and just put it.
Okay,
So if you know how to use
okay,
After Effects, just
okay,
to put it on rotate, that's all. Yeah, I think
okay.
some other apps too can also do it. I think CapCut just set it to rotate. Basically, just you knowing how to optimize your live stream.
Okay. Got you. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, do we have any other questions? Jeez, to 11. Things we do for church. Okay, so I think there's no other question. And it's safe to call a night. We'll have our part 2 very soon.